Hey, Capricorn, Intuitive Soul Coach here with your October 2024 monthly reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right. Capricorn, your key themes for the month of October. You have career, law of attraction, and signs and symbols. Some of you are really digging in deep and asking the bigger questions. You have soul lessons at the bottom of the deck. This is all about inner growth. It can be about wisdom, strength, learning, teaching. And I feel like you're also taking a deep dive into your belief system, which may include letting go of certain beliefs, certain people, certain situations or circumstances that may be limiting you in some way, shape, or form. Now, yes, we have career out here, but this could be in relationships, partnerships. This could be in health. We're going to look at all areas, all topics for you. Now, bottom of the deck, you do have the Eight of Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords is us getting caught up in a story that we tend to play over and over in our minds, and it can keep us held in a state of imprisonment. And I feel like you've been wanting to break out of this for quite some time, but sometimes we just don't know how, right? Sometimes we're not sure how to take that next step, and I feel like this is a month you're really surrendering. You have angelic help here in your career sector. And it says this is the time to trust in the universe and know that you will be provided for. With the law of attraction coming in here, I feel like what you are seeking is seeking you. But it almost feels like there's been a block in between you and what you are wanting to manifest. And you may be exposed to what that block is, or you may be finally able to overcome something that may be significant for you, because the Five of Wands is showing up here, and the Five of Wands says that there's been a little bit of conflict, maybe a little bit of competition, adversity. There's been a bit of a struggle, and this is a month where things really shift for you. Now, not only do you have the shift card in your career sector or money or finances, your archetype is the Shapeshifter showing up. So I'm excited to dive into your reading, Capricorn. Now we have career, law of attraction, and signs and symbols. You're making some changes, some shifts in your career sector this month. For those of you that may be retired, this could be financially. You may be making some changes. I see you focusing on your happiness. What brings you happiness? But I also see you being open to trying new things and letting go of the things that stimulate, or I should say don't stimulate your growth, your abundance. Basically, you're not going to invest in something that's not growing. And this goes for relationships as well. It goes for partnerships. Some of you may have dealt with a boss or someone who is overly competitive. They may have had different viewpoints, but because we have the Five of Wands showing up, I feel like other people were involved when it comes to your career in some way, shape, or form, and you felt criticized. You felt maybe a little bit of lack of direction if you're a business owner, but I feel like you are receiving signs and symbols here, and the signs and symbols are going to help you climb the ladder or advance in your career. There could quite literally be some sort of communication that comes in through a call, an email. This could be a new offer, a promotion, because I do see one of the aces showing up. And this is one of my favorite aces, the Ace of Pentacles. This is the start of a new life. It is a positive reward. So if you are looking to advance your financial sector, your career, your business, if you're looking to take it to the next level, whatever that may be. I mean, some of you, it could be simplicity. Maybe it's not working so darn hard. It could be a number. It could be a feeling. Whatever success means for you, I feel like this is the month where all of that hard work for you really does pay off, because you've been fighting for something here. You've been fighting for your growth, and you could see something changing drastically. It does say career, and I see the graphs. Some of you could be looking at growth and development. You may be analyzing a situation. Perhaps some of you do work with a spreadsheet or documents in some way, shape, or form. Perhaps you are working with a financial advisor here in the near future. I also see the Queen of Pentacles as your outcome. So this is about you really bringing wealth into your life in so many different ways, so many different resources. Wealth is so much more than just money. It is a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of abundance, a wealth of, support, wealth of anything here that inspires you. And I see that showing up for you this month. Now, do pay attention to the synchronicities. Some of you are receiving your best ideas through meditation, through quiet moments to yourself. This could even be inspiration while you're in the shower. It could be while you are driving. It could be a song on the radio. It could be a podcast that you're listening to. You're going to feel inspired to take action this month, because things have been feeling like you needed to kind of take a step back and work on healing yourself, a little bit of tender loving care. And I feel like you are tempering your finances, tempering your energies, and you're finding balance. And what better month to do that than Libran season, October, which is all about the scales. So if things have felt a little bit off, you are getting signs from above. Pay attention to your dreams this month. Pay attention to, I'm getting the numbers. And that was showing up. Maybe some of you are accountants or numerologists. You may be receiving, I'm getting ascending numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is going to let you know that things are starting to look up, or you're starting to step into the next phase. Some of you may have ascending numbers. It could just be 2 or 3. It doesn't have to be at 4, but it could be in your phone number, your home number, a business number. I feel like there is growth. There is expansion here. If you are wanting to connect or reconnect to spiritual practices, Scorpio season, which is the end of October, this is a really wonderful time to get back into a spiritual routine or practice, which could be meditation, breath work, yoga, going out in nature, just really tuning in. And I feel like this is good to do all the time, but I feel for some of you, you are attracting something quite beautiful into your life with the law of attraction. And it shows up in time for Capricorn season. By the end of the year, even though some of you may celebrate a birthday in January, for those of you sun sign Capricorns out there, I feel like by your birthday, you're really going to see things have shifted in a really beautiful way for you. But it's taken a lot of work. It's taken a lot of effort. A lot of you have been in competition with others in some way, or you felt like you've been criticized, or maybe you yourself have judged or criticized yourself or a situation. But this is about manifesting something more lucrative, something more abundant, positive into your life. And it's saying that you didn't give up, right? You have the Temperance card here. It's been a long time coming, but you didn't give up. And we also have Pluto exiting Capricorn this month. Pluto has been in Capricorn, your sign, since 2008. So this is a time to wrap up anything that has been ongoing over the last 16 years. For some of you, 2008, give or take a year prior or after, could have been very significant for you. It could be when you've gone through some massive transformations in your career, in your personal life, in your professional life. And I feel like you are concluding this journey that you've been on since then, and you're spreading your wings as Pluto goes into Aquarius. I feel like you are taking a look at the things that you really want, right? You're asking yourself some of the bigger questions here, and you're setting affirmations. Some of you may have even created a vision board, or this is a really wonderful time for you to create a vision board, specifically towards the end of October here. And this is abundance, abundant mindset. Bottom of the deck, you have soul lessons, belief system, and soul purpose. Wow. That is the Hierophant all jacked up on lots of caffeine, right? This is you really taking a deep dive into your life. It reminds me of the Judgment with the Hierophant, and you have the sun out here. So where does your happiness lie? What makes you happy, basically? Where do I feel alive? What brings me confidence? Where can I embrace the energy of abundance? And I feel like you've been on this path of soul searching and maybe even asking those questions for quite some time. But I feel like there is a call coming in, and it's time for you to pick up. I'm getting that Judgment energy, even though it's not out here. I just feel, and that could be because it comes more so in November, even though this is an October reading. I'm getting Judgment, which is Scorpio, which is the end of October and the majority of November. This is about direction. It's guidance. It is self-talk. Really pay attention to your words, your thoughts, your, because they create your reality. And I feel for some of you, there has been limitations based on some conditioning that you've gone through, based on some experiences that you've gone through. This is the Hierophant energy belief system. So where do we commit to our beliefs? Is it based on societal norms or standards? Is it based on what our family thinks? Is it based on what we were taught, what we learned? It could be an educational system, right? It could be a religious system. It can be our upbringing in some way, shape, or form. But you're breaking out of a mold. You're breaking out of some sort of container or confinement here. And there's a lot of inner growth. And some of you are even breaking out of a karmic cycle that you've been in potentially for the last 16 years, or definitely during that time frame. Now, this is a new path, right? This is a new path that you're heading on. And it looks with the Chariot and the Sun in your reading. Yes, there's been a lot of delays. There's been a lot of stop and go. Some of you, there's been instrumental success. For others of you, there's been demotion in some way, shape, or form, or a lot of highs, a lot of lows. And with the Sun and the Chariot here, this is about you realigning your energy, Capricorn. This is about you really coming to a centered energy, right? Centered energy of balance, and saying what is working, what's not. And I feel like there's a complete reevaluation taking place. Some of you may even be retiring, okay? Or you are shifting the dynamic of how business is done, how career is done. You could be moving on with the Chariot. Quite literally, there could be a move coming in. In the month of December, you may be traveling, okay? Or arranging travel plans for either later in the year or even around your birthday. But even though the Sun is showing up in reverse, it's still showing up nonetheless, which means you are questioning, where's my happiness lie and how can I get there? And I feel like the Chariot is the action backing it up, because the Chariot is also showing up in reverse here, saying there's been a little bit of lack of direction, right? There's been a lack of direction. There's been a lot of patience. Oh boy, sometimes you hear that word and you're like, Mel, I cannot be any more patient than I've been. But ultimately, the Temperance card is about moderation, self-control. It is, balance. And if there has been an energy of things feeling like they were very much out of your control, because sometimes that Chariot, if external circumstances around him are thrown at him, he can go all over the place, right? It depends on what is the motivating factor. And just like the flying monkeys in The Wizard of Oz, It's the Wicked Witch who gives the flying monkeys the command, and that's out of Dorothy's control. But at the end, right at the end, Dorothy is able to redirect. She's able to align the monkeys to navigate to help her out. And I feel like this is the motivation that you have behind a situation. And maybe there was a driving force that was maybe of ego, okay, or of pain or out of fear. And this is time for you to stop and really reevaluate. That's why Temperance is represented by Auntie M, right? Auntie M is in her garden and she is nurturing her garden. You see the abundance of pumpkins, and how interesting here in the Northern Hemisphere, autumn time can represent harvest and pumpkins. So this is happening here for you now. And I do see the tomatoes being ripe. The time is ripe. You've watered your garden. You've sowed the seeds. I feel like it's harvest time. And you've gone through it. I see you've gone through it here with the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is competition. It's obstacles. It's struggle. It is adversity. It's, groupthink, going with the crowd, even though the crowd may not be right. And maybe that's that belief system, going with it because that's what everybody does. But you are someone who isn't meant to follow. I feel like you are meant to break out of confinements. You are meant to be a trailblazer, Capricorn. And I feel like I've said this for you from the very beginning, is you are meant to be the one that breaks out of some sort of a system, right? Maybe you're an entrepreneur. Maybe this is a pattern that's replayed out in a family dynamic. Perhaps this is health-wise. You don't have to go round and round. And I see that you have. There's been obstacles trying to break out of this. But here's the gift. Capricorn, this Ace of Pentacles is the start of a new life. And some of you have already stepped into this energy, I see. Some of you have already stepped into this. And it could be that you finally, you're tapping your slippers there and you're saying there's no place like home. There's no place like home. And this is about you connecting to that soul piece of yourself where you remember who you are. You remember that you have everything within you to embrace the changes that are coming, embrace this new beginning. This could be physical health and well-being. It could be positive rewards, a gift, inheritance. This could be success. This could be the news of, a new job or a new opportunity in the physical world. But it's long term. And I feel like you remembering where home is for you on a deep soul level, this changes the game. It changes the dynamic and it fully allows you to receive this abundance that is showing up here for you. Why? Because you're releasing something that may have been very difficult or challenging with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. This talks about the Wicked Witch's possessions. This can talk about our material world. You ever have so many clothes in your closet that it's just spewing out, it's a big hot mess, and you need to go through the closet because you don't even know what you have, what you don't, and you only wear a few certain pieces. You can't really get in there. That's kind of what this energy feels like, is an overpacked closet where you don't even know what way is up, what way is down. Things are just shoved in there. There needs to be a cleaning out of the closet and cleaning out of the cobwebs. This can be the cobwebs in the mind, right? It could be within one's confinements, within one's space. And I feel like that's going to help you by letting go of what you are not needing. It's going to clear space for you to breathe, in a sense, for you to be able to pick and choose and be able to explore all the resources, all of the options that you have available to you. But sometimes it's so overwhelming, right? It's so overwhelming to have such a full schedule or a full palette, so many things going on, and it can wreak havoc at times. And I feel like you're letting go of people, places, or things that don't serve you, and not in a way of I'm just going to cut them out and I'm never going to talk to them again. Well, maybe, I mean, maybe if you need to do that, but it's saying that you're not going to let people walk all over you. You're not going to allow stuff to clutter your mind and energy. I mean, some of you, maybe a hoarding energy comes to mind here. Maybe you've dealt with someone in the family who is a hoarder. Perhaps you've hoarded beliefs or thoughts that they're outdated. They're outdated. They're meant to, it's time to go through the closet and see what stays and see what goes. That's what you're doing here. And ultimately, it's going to lead to a more abundant, more enriching life. You have the Queen of Pentacles here. So for a lot of you, this is in your career, right? What's working? What's not? How can I implement my ideas? Should I work with this partner? Should we partner up? Should I continue investing my time and energy into this? Am I going to see growth, right? If it's something that you've been working towards for the last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and you're not seeing growth in career or relationships or any area, it's definitely time for a new path. And I also see here the fruits of your labor are going to pay off, even if that means you've taken a detour, or it means that you have had to kind of switch out of an energy to apply your efforts elsewhere. It doesn't mean that you failed. Can you look at it as an opportunity? So many times I have clients that say, Mel, I failed, or, I don't want to look at this as a failure, or I don't want to give up because then that means that I failed. And that can be something we really hang on to. That can be that Four of Pentacles, because we were taught, that don't give up, you're going to get better, it's going to get better. And sometimes the biggest success, the biggest win is knowing when to let something go and when to hang on to it. But I feel whatever this is for you, you're coming out in a very favorable, wealthy position here with this Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, she's worked hard for her material wealth. She's frugal. She can be resourceful, but she can also know when to spend. She can be, she can be someone who at times is a little bit flashy, but she knows how to find that balance. And she's also very business savvy, and she's stable and secure with who she is. And I feel like you are gaining that sense of security, and I feel like you may even be speaking to a financial investor or an advisor. I feel like there could be something with partnership coming in, even though we're at the beginning stages with the Ace of Pentacles. There may be a new client or a new offer, a new venture that you are branching out. I don't see it right here happening. I mean, you do have something manifesting, something brewing, but perhaps that partnership comes in a little bit later, or maybe you want to make partner, or there could be a client that really shifts the game for you. But I feel like you're represented as the Duchess, and you're going to nurture things that even people are like, what are you doing? Look at the Duchess. She's holding the piggy. She's holding the little piglet there. She has a white face. How interesting. And I feel like you are going to nurture things that maybe other people question. But what other people think of you is none of your business, right? What other people think is not something for you to focus on, okay? I do feel like reputation is a big thing, but if you are doing the work, if you are putting good energy out there, your reputation is going to precede you, right? So don't let, excuse me, the naysayers, don't let the people who are jealous or the people who want what you have, don't let them determine your worth, because you definitely have a lot of worth here, a lot of prestige. I do feel like you have a lot of respect in some way, shape, or form. I do feel people look up to you, but don't let them push you around. Not with the Five of Wands here. Don't let people push you around. All right, let's look at wealth, abundance, money. We see health. Some of you could be in the health field of some sort, the medical field. This could be massage. This could be any healing work, okay? Some situations that need resolution will be resolved and healed. So this is really good showing up. I also feel for some of you, your mental health has been affected because of the stress or the drama that this Five of Wands has brought in. Pay attention to your health. It's very important at this time. I am getting a little bit of something in my throat and in the chest region. So for those of you that have had anything going on in either the heart chakra or the throat chakra, be mindful, be aware, pay attention, get it checked out if you need to, or connect to your higher self and say, what do I need to speak? What do I need to get off my chest or get off my throat here? Are you needing to be more creative? Are you needing to speak up a little bit more? Are you holding something down or holding it back to keep the peace? Libra season is the best time to, create harmony by sometimes stirring the pot first. It says it's time to replenish your energy and fully energize to prepare for what's next. When we have the sun in the Chariot, this is going to be a fast moving energy, but you also have the Temperance here. So it's a controlled energy. It's not something that's erratic that may have happened in the past, right? It's not like driving behind the wheel under the influence, right? This is about you knowing the rules, you having a clear mind, having a clear perspective and a path moving forward. You're not going to be weaving in and out with a foggy mentality. This is about you being healthy moving forward. So you're going to want to be well rested. You're going to want to make sure your health is in balance. Your health is restored here mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And I do see for some of you, you may also be pivoting and moving into a direction that is more health or spiritual based healing. Now we have the underworld. Find unconventional ways to explore new sources of income. That kind of goes hand in hand with the Duchess here. The Duchess is holding on to her little piglet. And sometimes this Duchess, she can be a mother, she can be a nurturer, but she's not holding on to a child. She's holding on to a pig, which that's okay. Pigs can be our pets, our animals, our children. And I feel like there's something here about the swine as well. The swine, like don't be manipulated in some way by things or like the material things only. I feel like this is about finding a balance between the spiritual and the material. And that may be something that either you've struggled with or you've dealt with other people who have been swine, right? And I feel like you've nurtured maybe that energy when really it wasn't in alignment with who you are, what you stand for. So just be mindful of what you are nurturing, because the underworld is about sex, death, hidden knowledge, probing into the mysteries of life. This gives me huge Scorpio vibes here. So for some of you, you are taking a deep dive. And it says, as your world evolves, so can your means of earning money. Because the world is evolving at such a rapid pace. It really is. And we're shifting dynamics all the time that things are speeding up. It feels like the days and the months are going by so quickly now where we're like, where is this time going? What's happening? But I feel like the energetic frequency is raising more and more within ourselves, within the world, within the collective. And it may feel like time is speeding up. And I just feel like, as time speeds up, so does technology, so does AI, so does our ways of making money, our ways of, bringing in finances and abundance. Explore those options, Capricorn, because you have the shift showing up. Taking your career in a totally different direction for some of you. It says, have the courage to change course, continue to grow, change, and learn. You've reached the end of a route where you cannot continue moving forward in the way that you've been. And that's probably that judgment energy that I'm picking up. And it could even be during Scorpio season. So I kept picking up the energy of November. So I feel for a lot of you Capricorns, November is going to be probably one of the biggest months that you've seen yet. Maybe even in the last 16 years. It's going to be a big one. And I feel for the better because you have angelic help. This is time to trust the universe and know that you will be provided for. Taking that leap of faith here. There's a career or blessing lining up for you. So stay positive and believe. There's your belief system right here. Stay positive. There's the sun. Sometimes it feels like the sun has went out within you, right? What warmth, what sun, what happiness. Mel, I haven't been happy for 16 years or 10 years or however long. You have angelic help. Your prayers are being answered here. Don't lose hope. Pay attention. Oh, wow. It says pay attention to the signs your angels send you during this time. You have signs and symbols showing up as a key theme. And I am getting the energy of guidance hovering over your reading today. I mean, always hovering over, but specifically for those of you that have been asking the universe, asking God, asking the angels, your higher power, whatever you call the divine, asking the divine for help, you're going to receive it. Okay? Don't lose hope. It's coming in here. It's going to turn from maybe helpless and hopeless to helpful and hopeful. Things are taking a turn. Believe it. Let's look at love. Love, partnerships, relationships. Oof. Okay. Whew. Finally. Oh, wow. You have cut down and heartbroken. We're each going to go through, every one of us are going to go through some sort of heartbreak with a loved one, a family member, a best friend, a romantic partner. I mean, this energy is inevitable, but the suffering piece of it, we don't have to suffer in, right? We don't have to suffer in silence. This does talk about grieving and despair. Maybe some of you feeling lost in terms of the heart or regarding a partnership or a relationship. You've been deeply wounded, deeply hurt by someone that you thought had your back, right? Someone that was supposed to love you unconditionally. And in that terms, that could be a parent, right? Someone who's supposed to be there for you, take care of you, love you. And I feel like this is a very saddened energy. And there may have been some sort of breakup or a separation of energy, a loss, grief, despair. And I feel like this energy was teaching you a lot about self-love, a lot about letting go and hanging on, which we see in your reading. This is about separation. And I feel like some of you have separated your energy. This could be something that's happened to you 20 years ago or 20 days ago. But I feel like you are meant to stop the pattern. Remember what I said about karmic cycles? You're meant to break out of that cycle. And perhaps some of you needed to cut something or someone out of your life, and maybe you stopped responding. Silent treatment here. Maybe someone stopped responding to you, or you once were friends turned enemies, or you once were friends or lovers, and you're like two ships passing in the night now. Yes, there's been heartbreak, but through heartbreak, loss, and despair comes something quite beautiful. Here is that energy of soulmate and engagement ring. October could be a month where someone gets married. Someone may make a life-changing choice when it comes to the heart. Someone may realize and have a breakthrough moment that says, I'm not happy where I'm at, and I deserve to move forward in my life and connect to people and partnerships and contracts with those that I want to spend forever with. This is about higher commitments. This is eternity. Some of you, which we all have soul tribe members that come into our lifetime that we've had many lives with prior. And I feel for some of you, there could be either someone you are in cahoots with now, someone that you could be in a high level commitment with, that you've definitely been in a past life with, or you are preparing for this union. And this does say lifelong. This is eternity. And it does say completion. You have completed some sort of a love cycle here, Capricorn. This is a big one. And I feel like you are, entering into some new soul contracts. This could be a new partnership, a new family dynamic with someone that maybe you've never met before. Could be a long lost cousin. It could be finding a birth parent. It could be forgiving something that was done many moons ago, but maybe subconsciously you were still harboring some sort of resentment or bitterness. I just feel like this engagement ring is showing up saying that there's some sort of commitment that you are reevaluating or heading towards in the near future, and it's going to feel more complete than whatever this has been. Okay, whatever you've gone through in the past with this heartbreak, we don't have to stay in this heartbreak. We can head towards this, partnership and union and feel a sense of completion instead of feeling like there's always a missing piece. All right. Wow. Big changes. Some of you, there's a new beginning in love. Ace of Pentacles. This is the start of a new life. Some of you are taking your relationship to the next level or taking your status. If you're single, you could be meeting someone or putting yourself out there and going from single to maybe dating to, something more concrete. Exclusivity. Maybe you're going from, dating to moving in together to getting married. I mean, it doesn't have to be those traditional steps that is taken when love is here. And this doesn't have to just be romantic, right? It could be meeting up with a friend and really opening up to the next level of a friendship. This could be healing a family pattern or dynamic, whether that means honoring yourself and the other person by exiting the contract or renewing it in some way, shape, or form. All right, Capricorn, last but not least, we have the Shapeshifter. We have the Shapeshifter here, and I do feel like things are changing, but I also get with the Shapeshifter, I'm getting be mindful of the swine. Now that is interesting. Be mindful of the swine. And I feel like there could be people, and of course, take this as it resonates. If this does not resonate, don't try to make it fit for you. But if there are people who you're currently maybe hesitating, maybe you're not trusting in some way, shape, or form, I feel like it's important to be mindful of that energy, because they could be shapeshifters in the form of saying something one day and then the next completely opposite. Okay. Now this is the trickster. This is the elusive, the formless. The shapeshifter has a love of theater, games, and trickery. Its energy appears as one thing, only to reveal a more complex story below the surface. The shapeshifter is within all of us to some degree. It is the side of ourselves that is slippery, non-committal, and experimental, and longs to dismiss the rules. We need its energy to adapt to the ever-changing landscape of our existence. When the Shapeshifter card appears, it's important to imagine you are looking at life through a kaleidoscope rather than a single focus lens. At any moment, the scene may shift, revealing a more enchanting vision than you imagined. Be wary, though, as the allure of the kaleidoscope can leave you exhausted and yearning for solid ground. Dancing long-term with the Shapeshifter requires a central pillar of integrity that links us back to our center. How interesting. We talked about the center, linking it back in, and we see in the middle of the card here, it almost feels like there is a kaleidoscope. And we also referred to that driving analogy, right? Of it feeling foggy, or it feeling like things, timelines are really jumping here, are really shifting. And it may feel like things kind of take a turn quite quickly. We see that there's a lion in the background, or a tiger, excuse me. Then we see a person here. We see an eye. We see a lot of things changing. And this is about vibrancy, adaptivity, and humor as well. Not taking life so seriously, because things are always changing, and that especially when it comes to technology and the way of the world. And we're going to see big changes October, November, and December that actually give us a little insight into 2025, because 2025 is going to be probably one of the biggest years yet that we've seen in this lifetime. And I know some of you are saying, Mel, 2020 was a big year, 2021. And I feel like 2025 is going to be astronomical changes, a lot of them occurring. And I feel like we're seeing little bits and pieces of what that is, but the next 3 months here are significant, and it's going to affect your life in some way, shape, or form. But I feel like it's going to affect it for the better. But embrace change. Embrace change. Like it says, see it through a kaleidoscope. See it through many different perspectives. Now, when it's showing up in the dark, it can be people pleasing. It can be trickery or being in that charlatan energy. The ultimate shapeshifter works undercover in service of the greater good. The diminished shapeshifter becomes a people pleaser. So think about that. That's important, right? The ultimate shapeshifter works undercover in service of the greater good. But when diminished, when in the dark, it can be a people pleaser. The shapeshifter is related to the mask, okay? If you are in the realm of heavy theater or illusion, possibly deception, things are going to be reawakened. We're in the midst of eclipse energy now, eclipse season. So I do feel like things are shifting here in a very profound way, but do be mindful of the swine, be mindful of the trickster, and also be mindful of your own mind playing tricks on you. That's why we have belief system. That's part of why this channel exists, because we have such a need this time in history to connect to ourselves, to our intuition, to our inner core more so than ever before, because things are changing and things are, happening at such rapid pace that sometimes we don't know what is up, what is down. And it's important for you to be able to tune in and have that discernment and make choices that are in your highest good, Capricorn. And I see you have that ability to do so, because it's like you've been training a lifetime for this. You really have with the Temperance. You've been training a lifetime. And I do feel here that you are heading in a direction where it does feel more whole. It feels more compatible or aligned with your soul's truth. And that's what is important here. Thank you so much, Capricorn, for tuning in. If this reading resonates, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. It certainly does help get the divine channeled messages out there to those that need it most. Thank you again so much for tuning in, Capricorn. Lots of love.